back to my channel. I hate long intros, so we're going to get right into it. If you read the title, then you know what we're going to do today. I have some 4-ply worsted weight yarn in this light blue. I believe it's big twist value yarn if you are curious. The tools that you'll need to make a pom-pom by hand will be your hand and some scissors. First, you'll need to cut a string. This is what you will use to tie your pom-pom with. I usually make mine a little bit longer. I did use my cutting mat to measure, and then I forgot how long I made it, but I believe it was about 16 to 18 inches long. You don't need it to be that long, but I apparently thought I did. Next, you're going to wrap the yarn around your hand. Make sure to keep the tail tucked under the yarn as you're wrapping, or it can come loose and unravel your whole pom-pom at the beginning of making it. Once you have it wrapped a few times, you can let it go and continue wrapping your yarn. I didn't speed this up or slow this down. This is happening in real time, so you can see just how quick this is to make. You don't need a pom-pom maker or anything like that, so if you're new to the yarn fandom or you're still learning, you don't need to go out and buy all the pom-pom making gadgets. You can use your hand. This is also super versatile. You don't need another size or anything like that. If you want to make pom-poms in a smaller or larger size, you can wrap your yarn around 2, 3, or 4 fingers or spread your fingers out a little bit to make the pom-pom bigger. The only limitation here is the size of your hand. If you need to make a larger or smaller pom-pom beyond the size of your hand, you'll probably have to make your own pom-pom maker with cardboard at that point, but I found that this method works really well for almost all projects. Now that we're done wrapping the pom-pom, cut the yarn, and then you're going to very carefully slide your yarn off your hand. Make sure that you keep it all together, and then put your tying yarn under your bundle. You can kind of fiddle with the bundle a little bit to make sure it's all together and fix any stray strands. Now you're going to tie a loose knot, flip your pom-pom over, and make sure the other side of the tie is even, and fix it if it's not. Then tighten your knot. I flip my pom-poms over and knot it again on the other side to make sure it's secure, and then knot it again for extra security. Once you are done knotting and securing your pom-pom, we get to move on to the fun part. So grab your scissors. We're going to very carefully cut the loops on your pom-pom. If you miss a loop, don't worry, we're going to come back and check it when we're all done. You can make pom-poms like this in pretty much any type of yarn, but one little trick that I have learned for less durable yarns like wool or wool blends is to match your wool or wool blend yarn with a similar colored acrylic yarn, and use the acrylic yarn for the center tie because it is going to be a lot more durable and the yarn won't fray or break while you're knotting it. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but this is really useful information that I wish I had had when I first started crocheting and making pom-poms. When you've got all your loops cut, let's go back and check the pom-pom just to make sure that you've got them all. I found that there's always one little loop that I've missed, and once you're done with that, you can shake your pom-pom out to see that it's a little wonky and it needs a haircut. I'm just going to shake out my pom-pom and make sure I didn't miss any loops. And there's that one little pesky loop that I was talking about. There's always one. So let's snip that little loop and we'll get on to the next part of pom-pom making. So your pom-pom will look like it had a bad night, it saw some things, it's not having a great time, so we're going to clean it up. This part is really important to go slow and really look at the whole thing, the bigger picture, and make small trims because you can always go back and trim more, but you cannot uncut yarn. So you can trim and then shake the pom-pom so the different strands fit in and you can see how it looks. Depending on how you want your pom-pom to look, you might have to do a lot of trimming towards the bottom and underside of the pom-pom to make sure that it's more round. But if you want it to be wider and fluffier at the bottom, you don't have to do that part. There is a lot of freedom with pom-poms. They can be whatever shape you want them to be, so while you're trimming all of this up, keep your final vision in mind when you're doing this. I am personally, for this particular project, going for a more classic, round, kind of winter beanie pom-pom, so I'm going to pay extra attention towards the bottom and underside because I do want it to be more round. It also kind of helps if your scissors aren't super dull like mine are, so it's taking me a little bit longer to make those clean cuts because my scissors definitely need sharpening. When you're all done trimming, you'll be left with what I call pom-pom dust. You can pitch it, or you can, like me, save it and mix it with your polyfill or fiberfill, and it can be used for stuffing your plushies or whatever later. Now that our pom-pom is complete, we can attach it to something. Here is the project that I have. It is a special project that you get to see later, but not right now. Right now it's a badly kept secret. You can use your crochet hook to loop the ties into the hat. I usually do that, but you can use a needle for this part too. I pull one string through and then pull the second string through on the opposite side of the first row. This hat was made with mostly double crochet, so if your hat is made with a different stitch, like single crochet, you'll probably pull your ties through between rows 2 and 3 so you have some room on the inside to tie it in. Once you've pulled your strings through, you'll knot it twice and then we'll secure it to the hat. You'll probably need a regular tapestry or yarn needle for this part, or if you're like I was for the first 2 years I crocheted, you can do this with a small crochet hook, but it'll be a little complicated. When I first started, I didn't have a big budget or a lot of tools, so I learned to do all these things with whatever I had on hand. You're going to pull one of your tails through the opposite side of your first row to the top of the hat, and then we're going to thread our needle through the center tie of the pom-pom. You'll have to spread the pom-pom fibers apart so you can find that center tie and run your needle through there. After your needle is through, pull it down through the top of the hat, and then we're going to knot it on the underside to give the pom-pom more stability. Then we're going to repeat this on the other side. When you're going through the center tie of your pom-pom, make sure that the yarn you're pulling through doesn't catch on the pom-pom strings or it'll bunch up. So just brush those out of the way, and then you can continue on tying your knot. This is the best way that I found to sew on pom-poms. It gives them a lot of stability so they don't look like they're about to fall off, and it keeps them anchored to your projects. Like I said, you're just going to move those little strings out of the way so they don't bunch up. And once we've got the second side of our pom-pom secured, we're going to knot it for the final time. Make sure your knot is tight and secure. And now that we've got the pom-pom sewn on, we're going to have to deal with those tails. We're going to have to do something a little wild and thread both tails onto our needle. I know, it sounds crazy, but stick with me. Once both of your tails are threaded onto your needle, we're going to bring those tails up through the top of the hat and through the center tie of your pom-pom. You're going to pull the yarn through the center tie and we're going to snip it right there. If the tails don't blend together into the rest of the pom-pom, you can trim it up a little. It's not a big deal. And now we're basically done. So we've made a pom-pom and we sewed it onto this hat. I'm very excited about this project, but you don't get to know about that just yet. Now that we're at the end of this video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. You know what to do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, you know where the subscribe button is. My socials are below. And thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you next time.